Hi, I'm Father Matthew Carlin. I'm parish priest of St Francis's in Port Glasgow, and since this is Vocations Awareness Week, I thought I would spend a couple of minutes sharing my vocation story, why I thought, how I came to know that I was called to be a priest, and how I ended up being here. So anytime I'm asked why I wanted to be a priest, there's always a few things I mentioned. And one definitely is knowing good priests when I was growing up. I was involved in my home parish, St John's in Barrhead, a fair bit when I was growing up, and the priests who were there were always great and were sort of very involved in the local schools that I was attending, and were popular and happy at doing their job. And that made me realise, even from a young age, even when I wasn't even interested in being a priest, that the priesthood could be a very happy and fulfilling life. But one priest that I knew very well was my uncle, my father's brother, who is a priest in this Diocese of Paisley, Monsignor Dennis Carlin. When I was young, most of the time he was away. He was working in seminaries, especially in the Royal Scots College in Salamanca. So, we knew him when I was growing up with my brothers and sister. We knew him as somebody who would come home from Spain every now and again. But we also knew that he had a very interesting and happy life as a priest, doing something that was a little bit unusual, in that he was involved in the training, the formation of men who wanted to be priests, and just knowing him, knowing how, let's say, how popular he was as a priest, how much people appreciated what he did, that always gave me the impression that being a priest was something that could lead to real fulfillment, but was also, something that people really needed in their lives. Sometimes people definitely needed the presence of a priest. And knowing those priests, especially my uncle, but also the priests, various priests in my parish over the years, I realised just what a crucial part in the life of the Catholic parish, the Catholic family, the Catholic school, that the priest plays. Another thing that was very important to me was I got into the habit from quite a young age of saying my prayers. So when I was worried about something, when I was anxious, I would always turn to God and ask for a bit of help, clarity and guidance. And when it got towards the end of secondary school, and I was pondering what I might want to do with my life, at that stage I really had only thought about wanting to be a lawyer. But I thought about it quite seriously. I prayed about it and considered it, and probably from prayer, I started to get this notion that I might be called to serve God as a priest. Nevertheless, I went to university and got a little bit involved in the faith life of the university. The chaplain at the time was Father John Keenan, who's now our bishop here in the diocese. And I was attending daily mass and grew a little bit in my prayer life and got to know a slightly wider group of people, especially people associated with the chaplaincy. And so I grew as a person, but also grew in my faith. And by the end of my 4 years at university, I was pretty convinced that this was what God wanted for my life. So I applied and was accepted and was sent to the Pontifical Scots College in Rome, where I spent 7 years training to be a priest, and then a wee extra year finishing off some of the work that I had left over after my ordination. I was ordained just over 4 years ago now, in June 2016. I spent a little bit of time, as I said, back in Rome studying. I spent 1 year and a half at the cathedral in Paisley as a curate, and I've been parish priest here in St Francis's for a very happy year and a half again. It really is a wonderful, wonderful life. It's a busy, sometimes demanding and tiring life, but I think that if you might feel that God is calling you to this life, I can speak with utter certainty and total conviction when I say that being a priest is such a happy and fulfilling way of life. Especially because we're available to our people all the time who may call on us for any kind of need. But ultimately our happiness, our fulfillment, our contentment derives from the fact that we are following God's plan for our life. We firmly believe that we are doing the thing that He has put us into the world to do, to celebrate His sacraments, to preach His word, to help look after His people, the church in the world. So God bless you.